Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from the Meadowlands Racetrack here on Friday evening. It is September the 28th, 2018. Gonna look at all the races on tonight's program from the Meadowlands, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. I'm gonna look at all the races tonight, so let's get on to it. Starting off with the opener, the first race. It's a maiden claiming race going for a purse of $12,500. This race is for maidens 3-year-olds and upwards, going for a claiming price of $20,000 here. A field of 11 horses going the distance of ground here of 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16th on the Meadowlands lawn, the turf course. 1,700 mile 16th. The rails are up this evening at 17 feet, so just keep that in mind. Also, the 11 horses also eligible, so only 10 will go with this rail setting. My top selection, I'm going to go to the 8 horse, Looking at You Kid. I'm going to go 8-6-5-1 in the superfecta. 8-6-5-1 super. Top selection, 8 horse, Looking at You Kid. Trevor McCarthy's in the saddle on this 5-year-old gelding by Looking at Lucky. The horse's most recent outing came the 15th of September, 2 weeks ago now at Suffolk. Mile 70 on the lawn and a maiden 16. The horse finished third by 4.5 lengths, was a little bit wide, and he just couldn't get the good closing kick. It just wasn't the day to win. Here in Jersey, the 2nd of September, Monmouth Park, mile 16th and maiden 25,000. The horse finished fourth by 3.25 lengths there, and he had a little bit of a turn of foot from the back of the pack. It wasn't enough to win, but he ran well there. And then before that at Monmouth, the 18th of August, mile 16th to main 16, horse finished fourth by 7 lengths, was very wide, which probably cost his horse the victory. He's 25 and 0. He's still a maiden, but he's back to a class I think he could win at. I hopefully win at, and I'll take my chances with him. There's a lot of pace in this race, and I think it's going to key up to a closer. Something to keep in mind during this meeting so far at the Meadowlands. The closers, when the rails are up, have been doing quite nicely. Not the speed, which is unusual. Usually the speed does well when the rails are up, but the closers, it's the complete opposite so far. The speed. So he's a closer here. I'll take my chances. Let's get him his win, his 26th start. So to recap my selections for the opener from the Meadowlands, going to go with the 8 horse, Looking at You Kid. Gonna go 8-6-5-1 in the superfecta. So now let's get on to race number 2 from the Meadowlands. It's a claiming race, purse $15,500. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards, going for a claiming price of $10,000. Field of 9 horses going the distance of ground here of 1,000 meters, or the distance of ground of 5 furlongs on the Meadowlands lawn of the turf course. 5 furlongs, 1,000 meters, rails at 17 feet again. Top selection in this race, I like the number 2 horse here, Zeus Odin. I'm going to go 2-9-4-7 in the superfecta, 2-9-4-7 super. Top selection, 2 horse, Zeus Odin. This 5-year-old gelding by Cowboy Cal. Trevor McCarthy picks up the mount on this one again. The horse's most recent outing came the 5th of August at Monmouth, 5.5 on the lawn and a claiming 12.50. The horse won that day by 1.5 lengths and almost on lead all throughout. Had a very good going away victory. It was his Monmouth debut that afternoon. Before that at Laurel, 15th of July, 5.5 and a claiming claiming 15. The horse finished third by 2.25 lengths. He set the pace early on, and then he just got overtaken, but he didn't weaken out of it. He showed some heart there. And then at Penn National, 9th of June, 5 furlongs and a claiming 16. The horse finished third by 2.5 lengths. Horrible trip. Never got into it. A little drifting cost him also. It was also the first race since the 13th of April. That came at Gulfstream, 5 furlongs and a claiming 12.50. Horse finished third by 1.75 lengths, and it was almost on lead all throughout up until the stretch run, and then he got caught from a wide poster, couldn't keep up. But his best races have come at this distance. He's running it again, speed on the inside. I'll take my chances with him. So to recap my selection for the second from the Meadowlands, gonna go with the 2 horse Zeus Odin. Gonna go 2-9-4-7 in the superfecta. So now let's get on to race number 3 from the Meadowlands. The third race, it's a claiming race, purse $13,000. Races for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. Number 1, 2 races here. Field of 10 horses going the distance of ground of 1,600 meters, with a distance of ground of 1 mile on the Meadowlands lawn at the turf course. 1,600, 1 mile on the turf. Rails at 17 feet again. Top selection. I like the number 8 horse, Bridge of Size. I'm going to go 8, 10, 7, 4 in the superfecta. 8, 10, 7, 4 super. Top selection 8 horse, Bridge of Size. 4-year-old filly by the Riendo. On how Suarez gets on this one for Roy Lerman. The horse's most recent outing came the 25th of August at Monmouth. 1 mile on the turf course and claiming 16. The horse finished 5th by 4.5 lengths. A little bit of a turn of foot, but again, it just wasn't enough to win against those group of horses. I think another drop down class, he should do well. Before that, they ran this horse at Saratoga the 1st of August, mile 8th and claiming 16. He finished 4th by 13 1/4 lengths, and he was just never showing up, and that was a very tough race. It just wasn't his day. And then before that, 20th of July at Monmouth, 1 mile claiming 16. Horse finished 3rd by 5 lengths. A little bit of a turn of foot, but again, it wasn't enough to win. This horse is 14-1. His one victory came in a maiden 12:50 at Tampa over the winter, going a mile 40 on the dirt. He won that day by 3/4 length, closing up well after a horrible beginning. But since then, they've been trying this horse on turf, and his better races, I think, have come on turf. Here at 6-1 in a very wide open race, I'll take my chances with him. So to recap my selections for the third for the Meadowlands, going to go with 8 horse, Bridge of Size. Going to go 8, 10, 7, 4 in the superfecta. So now let's get on to race number 4. Race number 4 from the Meadowlands, it's a maiden claiming race, going for a purse of $12,500. This race is for maidens, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards, going for a claiming price here of $20,000. Field of 10 horses going to the post, a distance of ground of 1,000 meters, with a distance of ground of 5 furlongs on the Meadowlands turf course. 5 furlongs, 1,000 meters, rails again at 17 feet. Don't think I have to repeat myself for the next 2 races, but just keep in mind, again, rails at 17 feet. Top selection here. I like the 3 horse Giggle Bite. Gotta go 3-1-8-6 in the superfecta. 3-1-8-6 super. Top selection of 3 horse Giggle Bite. 3-year-old filly by Data Link here. Jario Rendon is on this one for Kathleen Damasi. The horse's most recent outing came the 25th of August at Monmouth. 5.5 furlongs about on the turf course, the main special weight for 37,000. The horse ran absolutely crap that day. He finished 9th by 16.5 lengths. Just never got into it. It wasn't the day to win. He does his best running, I think, on the front end. Coming here with step down class, hopefully on the front end, he should really do a lot better. Before that, at Penn National, 5 furlongs main special weight for 27,000. Horse finished 3rd by 1 3/4 lengths. And, he set the pace early on. He got caught right at the wire. But he ran well there against the lesser quality horses. And then at Delaware, 28th of June, about 5 furlongs and a main special weight 34,000. Horse finished 3rd by 9 lengths. Again, a little bit of a turn of foot from the back of the pack, but again, it wasn't the best race. And then at Monmouth, about 5.5 furlongs and main special weight for 36,000. Horse finished 2nd by 1 3/4 lengths. He stalked early on, got 2nd. It was a good race over the layoff. He is a good horse, but I just think the step down should really help him today. If he gets the lead, I think he could be deadly on the front end. So at 5-2, I'll take my chances. Not the best price, I know. But to recap my selections for the 4th in the Meadowlands, going to go with the 3 horse Giggle Bite. Going to go 3-1-8-6 in the superfecta. So now let's get on to race number 5. Race number 5 from the Meadowlands. It's an allowance race, purse $28,000. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Number 1, a race of the main claim starter or a state-bred restricted race. Field of 10 horses going to the post, a distance of ground of 1,700 meters, with a distance of ground of 1.16 on the turf course. 1,700, a mile 16th. My top selection here in the 5th, I like the number 2 horse, Harlan's Hunch. I'm going to go 2-5-9-6 in the superfecta. 2-5-9-6 super. Top selection of 2 horse, Harlan's Hunch. 4-year-old gelding by Harlan's Holiday. Trevor McCarthy picks up the mount on this one. You better have a good night. The horse's most recent outing came the 26th of August at Saratoga. Mount 16th on the Melon in an allowance race for 87,000. The horse finished 7th by 14.5 lengths, opened up by a bunch early on in the race, and then he just hit the wall completely. The horses got to him, weakened out of it. It just wasn't the day to win for him at the end. I think coming here, he's a pace horse. If he could set some easy fractions, stay on the front end, I think he could win. But he shouldn't go 108 and 4 to the 3/4. Before that, this horse ran the 11th of July at Belmont, mile 16th on the Widener in a allowance race, 77,000. That day, this horse finished 7th by 11 lengths, and again, went too fast that day. He went 107 and 4 to 3/4, and it just hit the wall. Couldn't keep up with them. It wasn't the day to win. And then the 24th of May at Belmont, mile 16th on the Widener, start allowance race 50,000. That day he set some easy fractions. He won by 6 lengths, and he just took off clear. Very good race for this horse there. And then before that, 28th of April at Belmont, mile 16th inner turf course, start allowance race 50,000. Horse finished third by head, but was disqualified, placed fifth because he was drifting out on the front end. It just wasn't his day to win. But he did win a very nice race at Gulfstream over the winter. The 18th of April, 18th of March, mile on the Gulfstream lawn, or what they call a lawn, and a claiming 30. The horse won by a length, and he took off clear again that day after some easy fractions. For those claiming races at Gulfstream on the winter are very tough, but he held his own out, making the Meadowlands debut today. Shouldn't be a problem. He should like a little given the ground. 3-1. He'll be my best bet of the night. So to recap my selections for the fifth from the Meadowlands, going to go with the 2-horse Harlan's Hunch. Going to go 2-5-9-6 in the superfecta. So now let's get on to race number 6 from the Meadowlands, the nightcap on tonight's program. It's a claiming race, purse $13,000. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards, which never won a race since March 28th, or which never won through races here. Field of 10 horses going the post, going the distance of ground of 1,600 meters, with the distance of ground of 1 mile on the Meadowlands lawn, the turf course. 1,600, 1 mile on the nightcap. Top selection here. I like the number 4 horse, Sinatra. I'm gonna go 4-1-9-7 in the superfecta. 4-1-9-7 super. Top selection of 4 horse, Sinatra. 9-year-old gelding by Harlan's Holiday. Trevor McCarthy again is on this one for Jorge Navarro. Jorge Navarro has the 2 of them in here, and I like them both. I would use both of them on the multi-race ticket. Pick 6, pick 5, whatever you decide to play. But of the 2, I prefer the 4-horse Sinatra. His most recent outing came the 24th of August at Monmouth. Mile 16th and claiming 12.50. The horse finished 5th by 3 3/4 lengths there. He was very wide and just weakened out of it. Tough race. Dropped down to a claiming 5, which is the lowest he's been in ever. He should really do well. Before that, Monmouth, mile 16th, and a handicap of 16,000. Horse finished 6th by 4 lengths, and again was wide, and he just didn't show up. It wasn't the day to win. And then they took over this horse over to Parks, 1 mile on the lawn, July the 10th, and claiming 16. Horse finished third by a half length. He had a very good turn of foot from the back. It wasn't a bad race. And then at Monmouth again, mile 16th on the lawn, and claiming 16. Horse finished third by 1 3/4 lengths. A little wide, but he closed up well. His last victory came at Gulfstream last December the 30th, mile 16th and claiming 16. Horse won by 2 lengths. And if you watch the halfway point, you would have thought this horse ain't winning. But he had a great turn of foot, great ride by Jose Ortiz, and he just won for fun at the end. Good victory for this horse. Go watch the race because it was very impressive. If he shows the same performance today, he's going to win by a bunch. But at 9-5 today, I know it's a shit price, but he should really do well. He should love a given the ground also. So watch out for him. So to recap my selections for the 6th from the Meadowlands, going to go with the 4-horse Sinatra. Going to go 4-1-9-7 in the superfecta. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. Good luck, everyone.